Right, Billy, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
How are you doing, mate?
I'm doing really well. I've just lost my voice, which is great. Gigging at the weekend and a few beers, so.
Oh, right. Oh, it was bank holiday?
Yeah, it was indeed.
Where were you gigging?
I played a festival called Camper Cooling, just outside of Birmingham. So I was playing main stage and brought a guitarist along for this one, which is new for me. I'm used to playing in a band, but I've just gone solo in the last month. So.
Oh, is that how soon it was? I didn't realise.
Yeah. So I've been in the band for about 6 years. We're all living together. Met at uni at ACM in Guildford, and then it kind of just got to a point where we've been gigging relentlessly for 6 years. Let's just take a step back, take a breather. Having living in a studio, we were sat on a lot of material, so we're just given this year to let everyone spread their wings, and we're going to keep releasing music. We've got a BBC show in September, so we're getting back for that. But apart from that, I've just decided to go solo and try something new.
Amazing. BBC show as well. That's class.
Yeah, live lounge. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mate,
that's doing a live lounge, yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Big, yeah.
We've been listening to live lounges for years. Yeah. Oh, that's wicked. Well, mate, thanks for coming down.
No, I appreciate it.
We crossed paths, I would say, was it about a month ago?
Yeah.
I met you in passing. Well, it kind of was working with you at your studios, Purple Heart Studios.
Purple Heart Studios, yeah.
Which, by the way, are amazing.
Thank you.
I was blown away. We were walking in, you've got a gym, sort of massage table on the left. You walk in, they've got a green room with they have this massive. I've been to some gigs all over the world, my own old career. I mean, I've never seen such a green room. They've got all the drinks, all the fruit, pastries, everything was sick.
Gotta look after you, mate. Gotta look after you.
Yeah, but no, the hospitality was amazing. But after that interaction, I was speaking to a mutual friend of ours, Lindsay, and she mentioned something which I found really interesting, and I want to have a conversation with you on the podcast about it, which was crypto.
Yep.
I think she might have said Bitcoin particularly.
Yes. I hope so.
Yeah, she did. But let's just dive in. Apparently, I hear on the grapevine you're bullish on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Why?
Big time. How much do you know about Bitcoin?
I would say...
I'd say we use it a lot in our business.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, we use... Our business pretty much 90% runs on crypto.
Wow.
So, yeah, we pay a lot of our... 90% of our customers take payment via crypto, so either Bitcoin, USDT.
That's insane.
So yeah, to be honest, if we didn't have crypto, we'd probably be struggling to take a lot of the countries on that we have. So yeah.
When it comes to the blockchain and all that sort of thing, I've tried to learn about, is it DeFi, all this stuff. I've got books, and I'll be honest, I get halfway through them and I kind of get a little bit lost, which is why I thought this conversation would be really interesting. So
absolutely.
For the listeners, let's take it back.
Yeah, I feel like that'll be helpful.
I think probably, to get a bit of context, because the question you just asked me is how much do you know about Bitcoin? I would probably say, let's say nothing, right? Yep. Let's start there.
Okay, great. So, yeah, cool. I mean, Bitcoin is electronic cash, peer-to-peer monetary network, essentially. And it was established in 2008. Satoshi Nakamoto, who created Bitcoin, that's his pseudonym. We don't know if it's a group of people or one person. I would say it's definitely a guy, because I only know guys.
Is it a guy or is it a government?
Well, I don't think it's government, but I think it's a guy or a group of guys. And he released the white paper in 2008, which explained what he was going to launch, which was this essentially magic internet money.
Yeah.
And then in 2009, in January, he put it out to the world and took a step back from Bitcoin. He was mining Bitcoin. So back then and mining is essentially a computer running code. It's not like mining looking for gold where you're digging. The equivalent of that in the tech sense. So it basically means a computer that's set up to run mathematical equations. And then when it is correct, it creates a Bitcoin.
This mining thing, I don't understand it. Even though when you just explained it there, that still doesn't make sense to me. So can you be a bit more granular about it? So the computer is running code or creating code, but then it creates Bitcoin once it solves an equation. I don't understand how that then creates a coin or creates the Bitcoin in say a wallet or whatever. I don't understand that transaction, how that transaction works.
Yeah, so I mean, Bitcoin is built, Satoshi built it on the blockchain. So the blockchain is Bitcoin. You can build on top of that as well. So you now have layer 2, which is Lightning, for fast payments. But Bitcoin is like slow, steady, and never been hacked.
Okay.
The blockchain. In terms of mining it, in terms of creating coins, the two most important things to know about Bitcoin is that there will only ever be 21 million coins.
Ever. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's decentralized, so no one's in control. Like the people are essentially that hold Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But there's no government, there's no CEO, there's no company. So there's no like Bitcoin ads. If there are ads, someone's paying for it out their back pocket to push Bitcoin.
Yeah.
There's no one in charge. So that's the beauty of it, and that's why I say it's Bitcoin and the rest. I don't know if we can swear on this podcast, but
I don't see why not.
So, yeah.
but to me, the other coins are shit coins. And so Bitcoin is the true OG and the only one.
Yeah, especially now, back when Bitcoin first come out, obviously everyone's like, it's a scam, it's not going to go anywhere. But it obviously controls, like I just said, with all our payments. It's now got a purpose, like especially from countries to countries where it gives you trade and stuff like that. So I can see why the value is just increasing and increasing. Have you ever mined your own Bitcoin?
I run a miner in the studio at home.
Okay.
So it's called a BitAxe, made by a UK company. And I met the guy that runs the company a couple of months ago and bought one off him. And it's essentially a 1 in 8 million chance of mining one block.
Yeah.
And one block is the equivalent of 3.2 Bitcoin.
Wow.
So it's better than the lottery. Like
Yeah.
the lottery is 1 in 16 million. So
are you getting little bits of Bitcoin every day though?
I've got it set up to solo mine, which means I'm mining for myself, which is the 1 in 8 million chance.
Yeah.
And so I don't see anything unless I get a block. But last week someone hit a block on a BitAxe. So
Really?
Pretty
On
cool.
the same thing that you've
on the
got?
same thing, yeah.
Wow.
And it's £160 to get one.
Is
I
it?
just run it. Yeah, and it's the equivalent of charging an iPhone every month.
Okay.
So it's no cost really.
Right.
But you can set it up to group mine, and you can join a mining pool. So link up with other miners in the world, and then you generate a few pennies a week. But it doesn't seem worth it for me. I want to go for the big,
Yeah, of course.
the big one.
I've seen I've seen some people that, like, were really early on it, and they've got like massive Bitcoin farms. I think there's a guy in America who's got like loads of lockups, and it's just been mining and mining and mining. But is it every time it's halved? I might get butchering this, but Bitcoin gets halved every 4
years. So there's
years.
a 4-year cycle that's hardwired into the code that's actually created, and it's just cool. Like he released it in time, like just after the big financial crisis in 2008.
Yeah.
And this was like a big FU to the government and to money as we know it. And he set in the code set every 4 years. It means that the amount of Bitcoin you can mine halves. So it just increases the value.
Yeah.
Right.
And the scarcity of the coins that exist.
And that just happened overnight, that halving? Is that like a...
Happens overnight, I think. To coincide with the election, which is like September, October time.
Okay.
Every 4 years in America. And at the moment, as we are sat here, there are 21 million coins in existence. Yeah. There'll only ever be 20 million coins. There'll only ever be 21 million. And that 21 millionth coin won't be mined until the year 2140.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was sooner than that. So the question is, how early did you get in?
Yeah, were you an early adopter?
Oh, I wish I was sooner, like everyone. But I feel like if I was sooner, I would have sold it off when it hit the peak kind of
You
thing.
see them stories of people who bought at $2 and sold at $6.50 and like, I've made a fortune.
Oh yeah, and there's World Pizza Day, I think in April or May, when the guy bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah, I worked with a guy, and he was like, he's a tech nerd, and he was like our IT guy, and his brother had bought thousands of them, like like 2010, and he had them on a hard drive, and he forgot all about them, and then he just couldn't find his hard drive.
No way.
Yeah.
I couldn't live with myself.
That guy who had thousands, and he's I think he paid so much money to search this tip.
He's just given up.
He's just giving up.
Yeah.
You would though.
6.4 billion was something, was it, worth of Bitcoin?
Yeah, I don't think it was actually that much. I think it was nine. I think it was a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe like
A lot.
900 million, like something like that.
But that, so when I want to move on from the mining, but I just want to really understand this, right? You've said there's only ever 21 million coins. There will be only ever 20. There's 20 now, but 21 in total.
Yeah.
Where, if you're mining it, who's that coming from? There's got to be an exchange from someone to your thing. So like, where does it come from? How is it mined? Where is it coming from?
It's
Who
coming
owns
from the blockchain itself. So computers
okay.
are running code, solving the equations.
Yeah.
And it gets minted from on the blockchain. So it's not existed before. So this is called proof of work, which is why Bitcoin is different from all the other cryptocurrencies, is because you have to do the work to be rewarded.
Yeah,
that makes more sense. In my head, because we come from a trading background where you have to have, if someone puts a buy on, there has to be a seller on the other side of that trade, right? It's like it works in tandem. With this, it's working differently, and that's why I was trying to get my head around.
So, like my little miner at home probably doesn't stand any chance, but I mean,
I don't say that. Someone else just wouldn't.
But yeah, it's true. Yeah. But I'm not holding up hope. But I just do it to secure the network, because it's essentially, in order for we're way past the point of, a government could just turn off Bitcoin or not allow it. Yeah. We're past that point, because in order for them to do that, they'll literally have to come to my house and turn off my miner.
Yeah.
Oh, physically?
Yeah, physically.
What I would say though is it seems to be a lot harder to start on the exchanges and things like that now, with like what the government are doing, questionnaires.
Yeah, they're really cracking down.
KYC checks, monitoring all your investment gains and stuff. So yeah, it's a little bit of a shame, because by what I understand, that was the total opposite of what he wanted to build this for.
Yeah. I mean, I think fix the money, fix the world. Bitcoin fixes the money. Yeah. And fixes money as we know it. Governments aren't going to like it, because it takes away their control, and they can't see all the transactions that are going on. Although Bitcoin is a fully public ledger, so there's no need for a bank writing down every transaction that's going through. You can just log in and go on to the website that I can't remember right now.
Scan or something, or was it something scan? We used it a couple of times. You get the token, and you can see that's on the blockchain. That was sent to that person from this wallet to that wallet at this time, and that's all there. Yeah,
you can just go in online and you can watch the transactions going through, all the miners mining the Bitcoin, and then who's sent. Like, you just get the wallet address. It's like a long code, and that's all you can see. No name attached to it. Yeah. So you can disclose your wallet address, and then people can see exactly where your money's going. So it solves the ledger in the banking world. It solves that problem
completely.
100%.
Because they're always complaining that people aren't paying the taxes. You got more money than you tell us that you've got. Tax evasion, tax avoidance, all these things. Yeah. It kind of does. It gives full transparency to that whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Crypto or Bitcoin and government.
Yeah.
Where do you think the trajectory is from where we are today in the next 10, 15, 20 years?
Well, I think it's crazy, because you couldn't have predicted 2 years ago that there was going to be such fast-moving, like forward-thinking US government that we have in today. Like Trump or not, his team that he has around him are so like pro-Bitcoin and pro-crypto. Yeah. And they're pushing all the legislation forward to push that. So the SEC, January last year, allowed the first ETF, like Bitcoin token. So big institutions could start buying Bitcoin, because they can't just buy it for themselves on Coinbase. They have to do it and buy a token, like buy the ETF.
Yeah. We do huge amounts as well, right?
Huge amounts, at a time. So that happened in January last year, and since then, the institutions are only just getting started in terms of investment. So it's really early days, but it's moving quicker than anyone thought it would.
So that's what's driven the price right up the last 6 months.
The price is going up. If you zoom out on the graph, the price is going up forever.
That was going to be my next question to you. So you're very insightful on this. When did you start looking into crypto, and like what were you doing with it? Were you just buying a little bit of a time and like watching it rise, or were you going on the charts checking patterns? Or
how deep were you going in this?
I try not to check the charts, but my like Bitcoin journey and story is that my cousin is a coder, an absolute like tech wizard, and he found Bitcoin in, I want to say like 2014. So he was 14 years old.
14 years old.
Yeah, and I was 13.
Oh wow!
Right,
And he's half German. I went to Germany to visit, and he was like, "Mate, I've just found this like insane magic internet money," and he was like buying and selling it, just doing random stuff online with it, just trying out this technology. And at that age, he never had the money to invest in it. You know, it'd just be pocket money or whatever.
Yeah.
And him trying to convince my auntie and uncle to take him seriously and listen to him, and they were just like, "Shut up."
Do you remember what the price was around then?
It was like pounds, like a couple of pounds. This is like 2014. Like it wasn't much at all. Like maybe 20 quid max. Like I don't know. Anyway, he kept going on about it, but didn't take him seriously until lockdown. And I think he was living in London just before lockdown, and I think he spent like a couple of Bitcoin on a grocery shop. Like he really.
Oh wow!
Like
Was that? Oh, so what was the price around that time? $50, $60.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the year, but I know that I know that story of him doing a grocery shop.
Oh,
So he knew that this was a big thing and going to change money forever. But again, he needed money to live.
Yeah.
So you have to, sacrifice.
Huge.
But in lockdown, he gave me the book called Hard Money You Can't Fuck With by Jason A. Williams. I recommend reading it. Best book for understanding it at a low level, but also knowing the history of money. And it just gets into it. And it's not too long. It's an easy read. So I read that book over lockdown because we had time to do things that I wouldn't normally have time for.
Yeah.
And that changed my life kind of forever, I guess. Yeah.
So we just fully sold. So was it lockdown 2020?
Yeah.
Which is when you were like, I'm all in on Bitcoin.
Yeah. So my family, his family, it finally listened to him, and we all all read the book and just
oh, that's cool.
So what's then the? I mean, I'm going to kind of be a bit more objective here. I'll push back a little bit, but let's say, we know how money's created. Money's created through debt. If you're going to talk, I don't know what that book you just referenced to there, but if it talks about the Federal Reserve and all that stuff, what's the future for currencies? Because
we're due a change.
Yeah.
Germany's had 8 currencies, 8 different forms of money, and Euro's their latest one, which was 2002. So they're due another change. I think the currency before that, like the Deutschmark or whatever it was, before it went to the euro, it was only 10 years before then.
Right.
I didn't realize that was that soon.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
It's when you start looking into it, it's like, oh my word, something needs to happen. Money as we know it now is a Ponzi scheme. So
yeah, so we're just printing and printing money.
Exactly.
Inflation is going through the roof. Yeah.
I'll take you back in time a little bit. So World War I, World War II, the winners of that were America. Not that there were a winner. I don't think there is ever a winner to a war. I think it's brutal, but
Yeah.
Of course.
they were the ones that came out on top. And so they had power to say, the dollar is going to be the global reserve currency, and we're going to peg it to gold. And then it wasn't until 1971 when Nixon reversed the gold standard and he took the dollar away from gold. So then dollar was removed, and it meant they could print as much money as they wanted. They didn't have to have the gold in the vault for the equivalent.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean. France then didn't like the sound of this because they could see that America were printing more dollars than they had gold, and they were also looking after France's gold for them. So France came over on boats to pick up their gold, and they refused to give it to them. So from then onwards, I think soon after that, it was then the petrol dollar. So they pegged it to oil and oil as energy, and then it allowed them to fund the Saudis and send them guns and ammunition to start wars. And then now we're living in the S&P 500 dollar, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a mad story. I didn't realize I knew the gold standard, and I knew where it started, and then I knew that they just switched it completely to we're just going to print as much as you want. And now you've got this system where it's literally a number on a screen. There's not even cash. You haven't even got people don't even use notes hardly. So now you've got these this system, which is essentially like a Ponzi scheme, like you said, creating money through creating debt, which is just a number. I saw a post on social media the other day. It said something like, the world is like something stupid $1 trillion in debt.
Oh, it's outrageous.
It's outrageous.
Like, America are $37 trillion in debt at the moment.
Yes. Yeah.
The UK is, I think, just hit $50 billion in debt now. Pounds in debt.
It's insane.
So,
so I completely understand where you're coming from, but for me, the argument that, or the stance that there's a big change due and it's going to be crypto, I think that's quite a strong stance. But you obviously seem very bullish on that happening. What do you think is that first thing, that catalyst for it to go from where we are now? You mentioned Germany. It's gone through all those currencies. Let's say the next one has to happen. Were you insinuating that potentially that could be the government going, right, Bitcoin will be that next?
Yeah,
step?
I mean, you've already seen America and Trump. Trump spoke at Bitcoin Nashville, the event last June or something, and he said that they were going to start a Bitcoin reserve, like a Federal Reserve, and they haven't announced that they're buying Bitcoin yet. They're trying to work out the best way to do it without spending like taxpayers' dollars on it.
Yeah.
So it's whether they sell off some gold and buy Bitcoin. And then I think that would be the ultimate power play. If they sold off their gold, then it's going to devalue it for all the other nations. They can buy Bitcoin, which is the only other hard asset in the world that has a hard cap. Like, you can still dig for more gold. You can't. You can't mine to find more Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. It's finite. So, and everyone knows that.
To answer your question, I think it's going to be slowly.
Okay. It's not going to be like an immediate.
Slowly, then suddenly. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing for me of someone who I'd say casually, I do use crypto every single day, right?
That's great.
Transfer money. But in terms of how do we get crypto? So if I've got some crypto and then I need to go and do something, I need to then take that off my exchange, put it all back into my bank. How do we get to a point of where I can go into Tesco or into a shop and I can just go, bang, use crypto on my card? Can I sort of do that now? Or
Yeah, we're not that far away. There's a big burger franchise in America that's just, I think, Up and Down or something, that's just accepted Bitcoin as a form of payment.
Yeah.
Oh, In and Out.
Yeah,
In and Out burger.
In and Out, yeah. In and Out, that's it. And then I played a show at Tooting Market beginning of the year, and 10 different vendors were accepting Bitcoin.
Right.
So I was spending my sats, just the Satoshi is equivalent of a penny to the pound.
Yeah.
How do you physically do that?
Oh, just a Lightning wallet. So I've just got wallet of Satoshi, and I just zap the card reader, well, their phone essentially. And
So you just contactless?
Yeah. I should give you a little demo afterwards.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because when I had a crypto.com card, you could have, obviously you got your card connected, but I'm sure you had to transfer or exchange it to fiat and then use your fiat card.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know when that was.
Oh, 8 years ago.
So I mean, it's come on a lot, and like Satoshi created the blockchain, but you don't want to be doing the small transactions, like the small instant transactions on the blockchain.
Okay.
You want to be doing that on the Lightning Network, which code is built on top of the blockchain.
Why is that?
So it can handle millions of users at once, like doing instant payments. Like I can do it now, and it will literally go straight to your phone. You'll see it. Peer to peer, so no middleman, no Visa, no MasterCard taking a cut.
So there's no fees on that either?
No.
Yeah, because that's one thing I do with crypto now, because I'm transferring it into different cryptos, and I'm like, well, the fees are...
Yeah, that's a conversation we have in the business is we've just paid X amount this month on
fees,
on gas fees or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I recommend using a company called Strike. I don't know if you've come across them.
No.
The owner's called Jack Mallers. He's 30 years old. He started as ZapRight Payments, which was just a Lightning wallet, but then he's turned it into Strike, which is a exchange essentially, but it's Bitcoin focused. So it's a really smooth app, and he speaks to his users every week on X and on YouTube. He does a live stream, and he just gets customer feedback and just makes it great. He uses it for himself and his businesses, and it's really low fees, and you can I can send money straight from my Barclays or Revolut straight to Strike, instant Bitcoin buy, and then it's its own wallet, so I can then use that to buy some groceries or something.
Oh,
Anywhere that
okay.
accepts Bitcoin,
Oh, that's cool.
or send it to you, or
You need to get on that then.
I'm going to download that.
you got to do it. You got to do
Yeah.
it. And it does Lightning and blockchain. So for bigger payments, you can use
Yeah.
the blockchain for like ultimate safety. But for small payments, just use that.
So so you're in the music industry. Where do you sort of see Bitcoin coming into that over the next few years? Do you think it's going to be used massively for artists to be paid and?
Yeah, 100%. I think
like that?
eventually when we get to that point of Bitcoin being the money of the world and replacing the dollar as the global reserve currency, it's going to transform every industry as we know it. And it's the only form of money that can be used with AI, and AI is going to take over, as we know as well.
Yeah, AI is taking over. We're massively, like we've got our own software company, and AI is just taking over. It's crazy. So AI, crypto, I think if you're young and you've got some time on your hands, that's what you should be putting all your efforts into.
I think so too, and I'm very pro AI, and I think that a post Bitcoin and AI future, I'm hoping there's going to be like an art renaissance where the mundane everyday tasks are taken over by a computer, and then it lets you be creative and do this kind of stuff and be artistic.
It definitely does in life now. Like us in business, running the businesses, some of the stuff we use AI for now, it would have took us a week just for one little project, and we'd get it done in an hour, 2 hours. And then that allows us to do everything else in the business that we need to be doing.
Sort of stuff which we didn't have the time to do before. Now we get to sit down and talk to people like you about these sort of things. And you're talking about all of those mundane tasks being done, and we have basically the freedom to explore our own creativity and just do what we want to do, or do a lot more of what we want to do.
Exactly
right?
that. And for me at the moment, it's enabling me to do my passion project of my solo work and the band. So it's going to be more of that for everyone.
So it's the way you're talking there, Billy. It's a certainty that it's going to take over the US dollar as the global.
I think they know it. They've been saying the quiet part out loud, as Jack Mallers says on his podcast. If you read the headlines in America and you listen to the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, he's saying that they're preparing for this change. They're not necessarily saying Bitcoin, but everything behind the scenes screams Bitcoin. And everyone, Howard Lutnick, the head of commerce and finance, he's just created a company called 21 Capital with Jack Mallers, and it's a Bitcoin bank essentially.
Right.
And they just bought 4,000 or more Bitcoin on the launch day, and they're just about to be approved and buy a lot more. So it's quite insane.
Yeah. I'll ask you about, you mentioned it at the start, but I know a lot of our listeners, a lot of our customers are quite big into it, is the meme coins and shit coins. Are you, what's your thoughts on that side of the crypto?
No, I don't touch anything other than Bitcoin. I mean, meme coins, they are a laugh. They can be traded.
Yeah.
I think it's going to replace like kind of the stocks and shares like market as we know it. People will just be investing in meme coins, watching them. But the best thing about Bitcoin is that you can just sit on your hands. You just buy it, and then you hold it, and you don't have to watch the market like you do when you're in finance and trading. It's the best thing. So I don't think that. Meme coins are not going to solve the financial problem we find ourselves in.
I think some people do get really rich off them, but to me, a meme coin, when I look into it, is a Ponzi, and it's just a pump and dump.
It's the same as the dollar or the pound. It's just they can print as many as they want.
Yeah.
And then they can rug pull you and take all your money when the price suits them.
Yeah.
So and that's why Bitcoin is different.
Yeah,
that cannot happen.
No, it definitely can't. The buy and hold thing is something that one of our business partners is very, very feels very strongly about, and he always pulls up screenshots of things he'd said like 3 years ago, going, "If we bought this much Ethereum, this much Bitcoin, like this is where it would be," and like he's pretty much bang on, right?
Yeah.
And he always has to bring it back up. But for people now who think it's too expensive, because this is a conversation we have. I'd like your thoughts on this, because if what you're saying is true and it does happen and it materializes in that way, then it's never too expensive if you're looking at the chart in a long-term fashion. So what's your thoughts on like buying now?
I mean, when's the best time to plant a tree? Now. Like, get on it. You can't have planted it yesterday, so the next time is now. And yeah, I mean, I see Bitcoin has been growing for the last 15 years. It's been the best performing asset of all time.
Yeah.
And it grows on average 50-60% a year. It's just up 60% on last year now. And it's going to continue to do so. The price puts people off because 110,000, whatever it's at today, is a big number.
Yeah.
But I think it's a 99% discount. Only 1% of the world owns Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue to grow. I think in 5 years' time, we're going to be looking at a price of 1.5 million, around that.
In how many years?
5 years' time, in 2030.
5 years.
Yeah, I reckon.
1.5 million.
I reckon it'll be that a coin.
Wow.
But it's going to double figures in the millions for sure.
I remember buying half a Bitcoin for like $600.
There we go.
And I cashed it
Did
out.
you?
Cashed it out at like $2,000.
Yeah, I mean that's what you would do.
Like,
so
You've won. Like if you look at the trade at that point, if you've not got a long-term focus, you've won that trade.
It's like
you've just won 2x your money, 2.5x.
2x my money. I was happy at the time. I remember I was probably skint. I was like, right, I'll cash out, and then. But I remember at the time trying to buy it, going, "Oh, it's a lot of money. This, like, however much it was, $600." But mad, yeah. But my friends I have some friends who are like you. We were actually talking about this the other day. And they were buying Bitcoin all the time to buy stuff on like dark web stuff and things. But like,
that's where it all started.
Yeah. So that's how they got into it, and they were buying Bitcoin, and they were never looking at it as an investment, but they were probably buying $100 Bitcoin for $100. Getting rid of it all the time, and then you sit back now. But again, that's hindsight. No one's going to sit there and go, "I'll look after this for 15 years, and it's going to be worth 2 million, 3 million."
Well, no, but that is a conversation we're having now.
Some people will have done that, but it's the same now that you look at it's 100 grand. If it's worth 1.5 million in 10-15 years, it's a good investment.
Well, a 5 was what you're saying, Billy.
Yeah, I think so, 2030. Yeah.
Wow.
And you just have to look at the graph, just zoom out. Like, don't check the price every day. Just take a step back.
Yeah.
And you just see it compound over time. And so now it's just changed the way I changed the way I go about my daily life. Like I'm hesitant to spend money on a coffee or a new t-shirt or something. I just will buy sats instead. I'll buy Bitcoin.
Fair.
And then just sit back, and in a year's time, I'm up 60%. Brilliant. And it just continues to do so. And it's volatile. It's a volatile asset, but it's slowly becoming less volatile as time goes on.
Yeah.
But the upside is insane, and it beats the S&P. It beats anything.
Yeah. So I'm going to push back a little bit here.
Yeah, go for it.
I think we need to see the other side of the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
What is the worst case scenario for Bitcoin? Because I've seen arguments that Bitcoin can go to zero, but they talk about any stocks or shares or whatever, or indices, whatever, they can go to zero if the stock market's crashed numerous times. Can Bitcoin just go to zero?
I mean, it totally could, but
what would have to happen for that to take?
Everyone sells
at the same time.
But then you're going to get Michael Saylor, owner of Strategy B, who are going to be like one of the world's first Bitcoin banks. He's just going to buy the whole lot.
Yeah.
So, and then the price is going to shoot back up.
Yeah.
So
it's sort of at a point now where it's impossible for it to collapse as that many people.
Yeah, and
institutions and things like that own the money now.
And people like BlackRock buying
I mean, the BlackRock was the ETF that launched last year.
Yeah.
They've really got like a monopoly. But because Satoshi holds 5% of the network, he kept 1 million coins for himself, and they haven't been touched since 2010. So we don't know if he's still alive.
Yeah.
His wallets haven't moved on the blockchain.
I love it. It's like a Banksy thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You do and you don't know
this
who he is.
guy's going to be in the history books. An absolute legend for changing money as we know it.
I wonder what he is actually doing now.
if he's still alive, that's what Billy's saying there. So let's take it back for the listeners then a little bit. Let's say there's a person on the end of this podcast now, and they've got to this point and they haven't got any Bitcoin, and they're thinking what I've just said before, it's too expensive, I should have bought it when it was £1 or 50 grand or whatever. What would you say to that person, this 18, 20-year-old kid on either end of this conversation and listening to this?
Start stacking the sats and just think twice about the coffee or the food that you go out to eat. Just make something at home and just try and live like a good life, but try and do it on the cheap and start stacking the sats. Reach out to me or just look online. There's a great company called Strike. You can download their app, and the owner's a great guy. So instead of going to Coinbase or crypto.com, a Bitcoin only exchange is the best. And just start doing your reading. I think we work, on average as humans, we work 80,000 hours of our lifetimes. Wow. But how many of those hours do we actually spend working out how to keep the money we make?
Yeah.
Nothing. So put in an hour. I have done an hour a day almost since 2021 into the history of money and Bitcoin. So I'm this bullish because I've done my reading.
Yeah.
And there are various stages of becoming a Bitcoiner.
A Bitcoiner.
Yeah, and becoming a maxi, or being orange pilled, as they say. But you have to start somewhere. Just do a bit of reading. Hard Money You Can't Fuck With is a great book to get started on, and there are great podcasts out there. Jack Mallers, Natalie Brunel, Michael Saylor, Preston Pish. Listen to any of them, and they'll take you through it. It's amazing.
So strategy wise, to bring it back, you would say buy some
first. Buy some first,
okay.
Even if you don't know anything about it. Buy Bitcoin, and then do your reading, and the conviction will follow, and you'll be like, oh my God, what are we living in? I can't believe, like, governments print like 10% of money every year, so you're losing with inflation. Inflation isn't prices going up, it's the amount of money in circulation that's been printed.
Yeah.
So they say it's about 7% inflation, but it's more like 10% if they were really honest with you.
Right, okay.
So your purchasing power of your money sat in your bank account, just in fiat currency in pounds, is losing 10% of its value every year.
Every single 12
So
months.
you try and, like, you put it to the test. Next year, try and buy £100 worth of stuff. I bet 10% less you'll be able to buy for £100. And it's not until you realize that you're like, oh my God, I need to start saving in a hard asset that nobody can mess with. And Bitcoin is the answer to that. It makes savings like sexy again.
Yeah.
I've just got an email from Barclays last week saying, great news, our interest rate is now 1.3%.
Yeah.
Gross.
I'm like, lovely, perfect. I'm still 9% behind inflation.
Yeah.
So I'm not even keeping up with that. So at least with Bitcoin, well, you're not only, it's like staying ahead of inflation, but you're absolutely smashing it with 60% a year on average.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's mental to hear it that way. But Billy, thank you so much for coming down today and talking about Bitcoin. Before we do wrap up, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if anyone wants to give you a follow or on any of your socials, we'll put them in the...
We'll put them here down now. Put
them in the captions for you.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, it's funny because it's great to talk about Bitcoin, but I'm a musician and run a studio, but I've really put it to the test and using it behind the scenes to kind of push my work forward and my music. And you can really, if your business starts to stack the sats and starts to buy Bitcoin, I think that will resonate with a lot of our listeners because a lot of them are traders, but they have other jobs as well. Like they can then trade, earn as much money as possible, give up them jobs and go on to the passion projects and things like that. So I think, been really good. Yeah, I just have to say before we end is that there's a few great music sites already that the equivalent of Spotify. There's one called Wavelake where I'm on, and a great guy called Sam Means runs Wavelake, and you can zap people sats, send people sats for streaming their music. Okay. So I'm generating sats every day from people streaming my songs, and it's peer to peer. There's no Spotify taking a cut. It's just straight from the listener to the artist, so that makes the fans I should empower them and feeling I'm actually really doing the artist a favor. Yeah. And not only as the artist, you're making money, but you're instead of only having a few pennies trickling in from Spotify, you've got them coming in on Bitcoin, And so that's going 60% a year.
Yeah.
So it's just an absolute like
Oh,
power play.
I love that. Yeah, it's
love
just
that.
this like compound interest thing constantly every year. So you're supporting the artist, you're paying them more. The person who's paying the artist, because I was an artist once upon a time.
Of course,
you also feel like you're when you play something on Spotify, you don't feel like you're supporting an artist. You're not even thinking about that. But if I remember some of my friends use Bandcamp quite a lot for their tracks, right? And when you pay for something Bandcamp as opposed to paying for a Beatport or iTunes, you really feel like it's going to them.
Yeah.
Because it is, right? So you've got this like almost like rewarding side on the fan side. You're also then getting the money that you're going into Bitcoin, which is sowing 60% a year, etc., etc. This whole compound interest thing is like a great cycle, which in 5-10 years see ridiculous amounts of return for everyone involved, whether it's emotions for the fans or whether it's financially for you. So it's a win-win.
It's insane, and it cuts out the middleman, and it makes things so easy. Like I can just assign my like my Strike Lightning email to the song, and as soon as it gets played, the sats trickle into that that email essentially.
What was it called again?
That's called Wave Lake, the
Wave
music
Lake.
streaming platform.
We'll find it. We'll put it in the
comments as well for sure.
Yeah,
That's
there's
awesome.
another great podcast one as well, but we'll put them in the comments.
Oh, amazing.
Sure.
Is there anything we didn't talk about that you wanted to mention today, actually, as well, before we wrap up, Billy?
I don't think so. Just stay humble and stack the sats.
Wicked, I love it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you guys.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Billy. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.